Go big or go home, a bipartisan group of 100 lawmakers urging the Congressional Supercommittee to consider all options in slashing our nation's debt by Thanksgiving. In a letter sent to the 6 Democrats and 6 Republicans, the group says, quote, "We know that many in Washington and around the country do not believe we in the Congress and those within your committee can successfully meet this challenge. We believe that we can and we must."
The lawmakers leading this call to action are our next guest. Joining us right now from Washington, Idaho Republican Mike Simpson and North Carolina Democrat Heath Shuler. Welcome to both of you guys. Why do you think it was necessary to put together this letter, Congressman Shuler?
Well, I think it's very important that there's no more pressing issue that we're faced in this country right now than the debt and deficit that we've continued down this path for the last 10 years. We have to get on the path to recovery, and the best way to do that is to show support that we must go big, some $4 trillion in savings that we must find. And the only way to do that is to have support in a bipartisan way with Democrats and Republicans, dropping that political barrier between the two, the rhetoric that's been going on for quite some time, and say we're going to stand together and make a clear path to recovery.
Representative Simpson, let's talk about that a little bit. Representative Shuler says $4 trillion. The GOP agree with $4 trillion number?
Well, I think every organization, every independent committee, every individual that has looked at our financial situation says the $1.2 trillion mandate that the committee has been given is insufficient. It's really just kicking the can down the road, and we're out of road right now. And they have to get to at least $4 trillion in order to stabilize the debt and to start paying down our deficit. So I'd like to see them actually go bigger than $4 billion. If they could get to the $6 billion level, that would, I think, be very important also.
But Congressman Shuler, you know the deal, and we're going to line up the both plans now. Unless you listen on satellite radio, you'll be able to take them in. But you know the deal. When you say go big or go home, a lot of people feel as though if I'm a Republican and I say revenue increases, that means I'm going to lose all my support. And if I'm a Democrat and I cut entitlements, that means I'm going to lose my job. How do we get the people thinking less about themselves and more about the country?
Well, I think that is the part of it, that it's what can we do for our country, not what our country can always do for us. We've got to make really tough decisions, and we have to do it together. It has to be both Democrats and Republicans working in a bipartisan way and finding a compromise, and everything must be on the table.
Well, let's ask that. Both of you guys, Congressman, the Democrat, are you willing to cut entitlements, and the Republican, are you willing to raise taxes?
I think the most important thing is we can do is in order to have a true entitlement reform and the tax reform. I mean, those are two areas of which we can find a tremendous amount of savings. In order, we can lower the tax rate and broaden the base, and we can reform Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security to be able to protect it, to have it for the next generation.
Well, a lot of people look at this and they're concerned that revenue means tax increases, and I don't know of anyone that is in favor of increasing tax rates, but we are in favor of increasing revenue. And you do that just like Heath said. You lower the tax rates, you broaden the base, get rid of the exemptions underneath. I think you'll see an economic boom in this country, and I think you'll see a great amount of additional revenue come into the federal government.
Now, we're all going to know in about 20-plus days. Hopefully it's better than the debt ceiling debacle.
Can I just point out, it's refreshing to see a Republican and Democrat sitting next to each other in Washington and working together.
Well,
fantastic.
This
Thanks,
can
guys.
only be done in a bipartisan way. It can't be done by either party alone.
And you two seem to realize that. Hopefully others will. Congressman Mike and all those others who signed this petition, a letter, I should say. Congressman Mike Simpson, Congressman Heath Shuler, thanks so much this morning.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.